let's look at the warm-up for Thursday. After being dropped, a certain ball always bounces back to 1/2 of its previous bounce. I think that's an important thing to note there. 1/2 of the previous bounce. Previous bounce means the bounce before. If it is dropped from a height of 160 inches, how high in inches will it reach after its 4th bounce? That's underlined, so I feel like that's probably important. Show all of your calculations. Make sure you label your work and explain your thinking. So, first we need to think about how we're going to show 4 bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you may have created a chart or something like that. I'm just going to list my bounces. If it's 1/2 of its previous bounce, that means I need to split each one in half. Or, I need to split it into 2 pieces. So that's dividing by 2. Or, we need to know that this word of means to multiply. So we're going to multiply 1/2 of the previous bounce. So we're starting at 160 inches. So the first bounce, we're going to do 1/2 times 160. So what that looks like as a math problem is 1/2 times 60 over 1, which becomes 60 over 2. And we know that that means 60 divided by 2. So after it's 160, I'm sorry. And so what that means is after the first bounce, the height is going to be 80 inches. That's the first bounce. So we're going to now, the second time, we're going to bounce back after a height of 80 inches. So it's 1/2 times 80. Or 1/2 times 80 over 1, which is 80 divided by 2. This is how multiplying by half is related to dividing by 2. They're really the same thing, right? Multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as 80 divided by 2. And 80 divided by 2 is 40 inches. So the third bounce is 1/2 times 40. And so 1/2 times 40 over 1 equals 40 divided by 2. And so that equals 20 inches. And the last one is 1/2 of 20. And that equals 10 inches. So, how high in inches will it reach after the 4th bounce? After the 4th bounce, it will reach 10 inches high. So I know as you were working on this one, you may have been able to just intuitively say, I need to split it in half, divide by 2. So you may not have felt like you needed to show all your work. Remember, these tasks are warm-ups or preparations for our unit test next Thursday. And you'll have a problem like this on your unit test, but I don't think the fraction is going to be as easy as 1/3. I think it's 2/3. Or 3/4, and so you'll have to know to multiply your numerator and denominator, and then you'll have to divide. So even though intuitively we may have known that half of 160 is 80, we still needed to see the process of it, because if the fraction is not as easy as 1/2, we'll need to be able to figure that out. Let's look at Friday. Tommy and TJ are playing a basketball game. 3 outcomes are possible in the game. Both players were given the opportunity to shoot 12 times. Here are their results. So, the number of shots made outside the 3-point line, Tommy made 4 and TJ made 5. Number of shots made inside, or Tommy made 6 of those inside the 3-point line, TJ made 4. Number of shots missed, Tommy missed 2, TJ missed 3. But here's the thing. We've got to look at how we're going to calculate the score. A shot made outside the 3-point line is worth 3 points. A shot made inside the 3-point line is worth 2 points. A shot missed is worth -2 points. So if you miss, it's not that you just don't get points. You're going to have 2 points taken away for every time you miss. So what was Tommy's total score? So we've got to think. Each one outside is worth 3 points. And TJ gets 3 points for those. So we're saying that 4 times 3 is 12. So outside, he made 12 points. And that's a positive. Inside, those are worth 2 points. So times 2. 6 shots at 2 points is another 12 points. But now we have to think, if he missed it, it's a -2 points. So 2 times -2. So missing, 2 times -2 is subtracting 4 points. So his score is 12 plus 12 is 24. And then 24 minus 4, Tommy, his total score was 20 points. So now let's do that same thing with TJ. He has an outside, inside, and missing. And let's do his calculations. So outside, 5 times 3 was, we got 15 points for outside the 3-point line. Inside, we have to multiply that. Remember, inside is 2 points each. So 4 times 2 is 8 points. And then missing, he missed 3, and those are worth -2. So 3 times -2 is, so let's make this a positive, make this a positive, and this is a -6. So now let's do some math. 15 plus 8 is 23 points, but we've got to subtract 6. So 23 minus 6 is 17 points. So who would have won the game? So if Tommy had 20 points and TJ had 17 points, Tommy would have been the winner if it had asked us that. All right, so make sure that you hold on to these because you're going to need to be able to review them and study for the test.